Welcoming guys, and I'm here to review the Cleveland Browns 2024 season. The skid marks are back, baby. Yeah, the Browns are back, baby. Let's talk about the Browns. The last couple years, huh? So, as we all know, 2022, the Browns just after failing to draft Deshaun Watson in 2017 and passing on Deshaun Watson in 2017. Many years later, they come back from in 2022 and and they're like, this is our guy to get us to the Super Bowl, and he's gonna do all this great stuff and whatever. And then you know, all this other stuff happens with injuries, more allegations come out, and again, the whole thing with Deshaun Watson has been one big disaster. Oh, looking back at it, it's been absolutely, again, it's mind blowing that this Browns organization still has Andrew Berry as their GM, still has Ken Stefanski as their head coach. Especially when you look at the offensive coordinators that were on the market this summer, this offseason. Ben Johnson that went to the Bears, um, Liam Cohen who went to the Jags, um, so many other offensive coordinators that were available during this offseason, and they gave Kevin Stefanski, they kept him in the job, and Andrew Berry as the GM. They kept the GM and the head coach in the job, especially Andrew Berry, who was sanctioning this Deshaun Watson deal a number of years ago. And like I said, Deshaun Watson gets injured. Darius Thompson comes in, who they drafted a number of years ago, gets a couple of cameos of games. They've had James Winston come in from the Saints this season, um, which again he's done some decent things I guess this year, but they're again 3-14, and James Winston's a decent guy to have at quarterback, but he's not going to be the guy that's going to get you a championship or get you into the playoffs. So after two consecutive years, 2022, 2023, again 2023, you had Joe Flacco being the guy that led the Browns team to his playoff place in 2023. 2024, straight back to where the Browns belong, being butt last in their division in the AFC North. 3-14, winning 3 games all year. One of the games was one of those games against division rivals, the Steelers, in the snow. The number of months ago, and then just really a lot of bullshit been going on in the Browns front office. No surprise there going on with a lot of the team won out. Myles Garrett, who again is 29-30 this year, defensive end. Myles Garrett wants out. He's had enough of the Browns bullshit. He's looking at this. He's like, again, I'm 30 years old. I'm not gonna win shit in Cleveland. I'm gonna do what LeBron James did and everybody else what they do in Cleveland, and get the fuck out of this town. I'm going. I'm leaving Cleveland. And again, Myles Garrett has been linked with a trade to the Bears, and then in return, the Bears are gonna give away their first round pick, their first round pick that they have in this year's draft for Myles Garrett or something like that. I'm like, again. Myles Garrett wants out at defensive end. You're over the salary cap. You've got about 51 million in dead cap space. So again, you're not going to really spend much in the off season. So again, it's all really unless you like release some people like Jared Judy gets released, or you release like Deshaun Watson out of his contract. You're really stuck in a hard place, and then you still got Andrew Berry and Kevin Stefanski and Andrew Berry still as your head coach and GM going into 2025. Good luck with that, guys. Jameis Winston, though, this season at 2,121 passing yards. Jerry Jeudy at 1,229 receiving yards. They was third in rushing yards this year. He was 27 for points against, 32nd for points for, 22nd for passes. Really just butt last everywhere in the stats this year. And there's a lot of problems. Again, you're looking at Nick Chubb wants to leave. Nick Chubb's getting older. He's like 29, 30 as well at running back. You've got Mike Ford, who's again 28, 29. Devlin Thompson, nose tackle, who's again in his 30s. You got this Browns team's a really old team that really needs a revamp. But good thing is for the Browns that they do have a first round pick in the draft. They have the second round. They have the first round pick. Well, they have a second round pick in the first round. So again, you're looking at the biggest thing they need to address is the quarterback position. No more Jameis Winston, no more Joe Flacco, no more Deshaun Watson or Darius Thompson. They need a quarterback. And again, the quarterback class isn't the best. You've got Daxon Dark. You've got Joe Milroe. You have Shadarius Sanders, and then you have Cam Ward. Cam Ward and Shadarius Sanders are going to be 1 and 2. So again, you got to pick from one of those guys who's going to be your next QB going into 2025. So you definitely need to get a quarterback. And then you're looking at running back to somebody to replace Nick Chubb. You're looking at defensive end to somebody to replace Myles Garrett if he goes to Chicago or wherever he goes to. And then you're looking at the offensive line. Now that the offensive line needs a lot of work in the trenches. You're looking at you're looking at about 2 or 3 starters in that offensive line. Then you're looking at wide receiver. Again, you need to look at wide receiver as well. So there's a lot of work that has to be done, and you're in the AFC North with John Harbaugh, Lamar Jackson, Mike Tomlin, and whoever the quarterback's going to be, and then you got the Bengals with Joe Burrow and Zach Taylor. Great work, guys. Again, go look for the fucking Browns for 2025 because you're going to need it. It's just going to be another year of skid marks being fucking an absolute dumpster fire. And if you guys didn't win these meaningless games like against the Steelers and the other teams, like you could have got the first overall pick this year, and you could have got like a Shadarius Sanders at 1, but again you're gonna have to go for second, and maybe the Titans go for Shadarius Sanders at 1, or they go for Cam Ward at 1, or maybe like a Giants trade up, and they go for a quarterback, 2 or whatever. But ultimately, it's going to be the same old Cleveland Browns for 2025. So again, Browns fans, buckle up. It's going to be a long, long season.